Much ado about nothing. That is how Indiana Governor Mike Pence pretty much describes a new religious freedom measure he just signed into law there, and it's getting a lot of flack for him everywhere. Some say that religious freedom is code for anti-gay. Among them, Apple CEO Tim Cook, the openly gay executive, blasting the Indiana measure in an op-ed, writing, "Apple is open to everyone, regardless of where they come from, what they look like, how they worship, or who they love. Regardless of what the law might allow in Indiana or Arkansas, we will never tolerate discrimination." Now, Cook was referring to a similar measure coming up for a vote in Arkansas, but what exactly is Cook threatening here, and whom? Indiana customers who might not even care about this issue, but might have a bigger issue with a California CEO making their state the issue. Regardless what you think of this Indiana law, whether it's a measure aimed at protecting folks' religious freedoms or is actually code for being anti-gay, is it a slippery slope for a CEO of any company to lecture a state on such matters? Remember, Cook's own state of California takes a dim view of jobs that are shipped overseas, yet not a word from Cook about the millions of iPhones Apple makes in Asia. And southern states like Texas and Arizona are cracking down on illegal immigration. Should he weigh in on those matters that a lot of liberal groups find particularly excessive? All I'm saying is be careful getting on a high horse. Sometimes, regardless of folks' point of view, they don't take kindly to all of you calling them horses' asses. Well, that's my spiel. Now to Katrina Pierson with hers. Katrina, what do you make of this?
Well, Neil, this is classic liberal hypocrisy. I mean, you mentioned several things that are going on across the country that he's not talking about. For example, outsourcing jobs. And it's interesting that you have these CEOs now that are sort of finding their political voice at the expense of their company, not realizing that a lot of Americans who may not be politically active are in fact active in their consumerism and just might use that power moving forward.
I'm just wondering where you're going to have a beef, let's say on gays, for example.
Right.
You leave yourself open to, all right, he spoke out on this, but he didn't speak out about outsourcing. He didn't speak out about, illegal immigration, whether we're cracking down too hard. And then people start saying, oh, you pick and choose your battles, right?
Right, and he took this personally, being gay himself, and that's understandable, but you don't emotionally, flash back at people, particularly in a state that has nothing really to do with you as an individual. He didn't mention the fact that it was Bill Clinton that signed a Religious Freedom Act way back when.
That's right.
And here we are today with a situation where you have business owners being attacked by the left for anti-gay measures,
but Bill Clinton later regretted,
but
Bill Clinton later went on to say regretted that it was overturned. Having said that, you're quite right. It started there. What I'm wondering is whether, regardless of your point of view on this subject of gays or what have you, that if you're in Indiana or you're one of these states, or you don't like a CEO just pontificating, or should it be
No.
should we hold them to the same standard a lot of people have to say about actors and actresses? Just act. But other than that, shut up.
Well, I mean, yes, we should, because they are CEOs, and if they're speaking out against one thing, that means there's likely somebody who works for them that's on the opposite side, and how does that person feel? So they should be cognizant of the issues, knowing that they probably employ somebody that falls within a bracket that they support or don't support, for that matter. But at the bigger picture, at the end of the day, we're looking at a country that, for the most part, is socially traditional, and now we're falling back into, well, I'm right and you're wrong, and what you're doing is right and what you're doing is wrong. But his own state shot down gay marriage, and now he's criticizing another state for protecting business owners from being attacked by those who want to impose their religious freedom onto them.
Yeah, we'll watch very closely, because he might have set himself up for hits on other areas, and I should disclose I'm an Apple
Yes.
shareholder here. Katrina, thank you very, very much.
Great to be with you.
All right.